Hey guys, this is Justin at the Survivor Review, and another holiday season has come and gone, which means it's time to show what I got for Christmas. So, I only got a couple of Blu-rays this year, and instead of just kind of putting those aside and saving those for like a pickup video down the line, I decided to do this video, instead just showing the Blu-rays and a couple other really cool things that I got, and mainly books, some really cool books I think you guys would like. And I also wanted to do that because I don't plan on picking up too many Blu-rays next month, mainly because I spent a lot of money on Christmas this year, and also I kind of want to save up a little bit. So I figured I'd just show them now and get it all out of the way. Now this year I got a lot of good stuff, including the tripod that I'm currently using right now to film this video, finally, to get rid of that broken one I've been using for a while now. Hopefully that's another step closer to getting better equipment, and I really hope to get a new camera at some point. And this is 1 inch closer to that, so that's exciting. I got some festive socks for the holidays, which are die-hard socks. I just had to show these because they're just so cool. Like, just look at those. Those are sick. I just had to show those because I love them. And they went well with my die-hard Christmas shirt that I wore this year as well. And I also got a couple t-shirts and a couple other little things. So let's dive into the really cool stuff I want to show you guys, starting with some books. I'm going to save the 2 Blu-rays for the end. The first book is actually like a magazine. It's a Life magazine celebrating the 45th anniversary of my favorite movie of all time, Jaws. Now this is a really cool magazine that actually has a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff and behind-the-scenes information. Like a lot of cool pictures, and there's like actor profiles, like that one right there is all about Roy Scheider, which is really cool. And a lot of cool behind-the-scenes stuff there, which is really neat. It's nice to have all this stuff in this like one book, which is pretty cool. Some stuff right there, so this is cool. I can't wait to just read through this and see if there's any new information that I don't already know about this movie in here. So yeah, some really cool stuff in here, some really cool looking photos and everything, so this is really nice. I can't wait to just sit down and read through this and read through some behind the scenes stories for my all-time favorite movie. So the next book I got is really interesting. This is actually really cool. My sister actually picked this up for me at like a flea market, I think it was, and it's a book called Heroes of the Horrors. And it's an old looking book. This book actually is like an ex-library copy. It actually has like the library name on top there, and even on the inside it has like all the stamped out dates that it was like taken out, which I think is really cool. I actually quite like that. But it's a book essentially giving us biographies on some of the most classic horror stars. So basically you get like biographies on Lon Chaney Sr., Bela Lugosi, Boris Karloff, Peter Lorre, Lon Chaney Jr., and Vincent Price. Now this book is from like, I think like 1975 or something. I forgot what the year was. Find it. Yeah, the book came out in 1975. So it's interesting that when you get to the Vincent Price section, he was still alive at the time that they wrote this. So when you get to his section, it says 1911 and no other end date because he's still alive at that time, which is really kind of cool. But yeah, this book is pretty sweet. Like it's pretty extensive, and so it kind of just goes through. There's a lot of great behind-the-scenes photos, like some really good stuff. You got Bela Lugosi right there. Like this book is amazing. Yeah, it's pretty extensive, going through like all their careers and everything. It's like it's really cool. So I can't wait to just delve through. Lon Chaney Jr. Yeah, this is a really cool book, and I love old books as well. So this is even cooler. That's like a much older book, and I do kind of like the ex-library copy that it is. Like that's pretty nostalgic from borrowing books from the library. Yeah, the book is chock full of information and some really cool photos that I like having in here. Some cool behind the scenes photos. I just like to flip through this just to look at the pictures, and it's actually one of the things I like about it. There's some really nice looking behind the scenes photos that is pretty cool. So it's not just like a lot of words, it's a lot of, look, that's great. There, Frankenstein is my all-time favorite Universal monster, so I love all this stuff on there. Yeah, this is pretty sweet book. It's awesome. It was definitely something I wasn't expecting, but I love it. I can't wait to just like delve into this. I know I said the same thing on the Jaws one, but it's true. I can't wait to just delve through here and learn more about like the icons of horror. It's fantastic. Now this next book was actually the thing I wanted the most for Christmas, just because I really wanted to read this. I really wanted to check this out, and that is The Living Dead. It's a new novel by George Romero and Daniel Krauss. Now, for those who don't know, this book was actually being written by George Romero when he passed away. He unfortunately wasn't able to finish it, so author Daniel Krauss came in and finished the book up for him, which is just awesome, because Romero, he's one of my favorite filmmakers. He's one of those influential, epic filmmakers when it comes to horror and the horror genre, and of course the zombie genre. So to get a new zombie work from him after he's passed away is just awesome, and I really can't wait to check this book out. And now, this book's actually a lot bigger than I thought. It's like 600 pages, which I was not expecting. It's a pretty long book. I cannot wait to read this, just to get like one more story from George Romero after he's passed away. I think it's just awesome. It's really nice. It makes me excited to check this book out. So yeah, that's awesome. So those were the books I got. Now on to the Blu-rays. Starting with one that I've been wanting to get since it came out last year. I just never got around to picking it up. And it's a steelbook, actually, for a classic Toho monster, Mothra. This is the Mill Creek release, and my god, this is a gorgeous looking release. Got the front there, got some classic old school poster art. This is one of those clear slipcovers, which I love it when steelbooks have those. That's the back there, all the info and stuff. The spine, and then taking the slipcover off, so you got the tagline and some fighter jets and the twins, which are on the slipcover there, and the steelbook right there just has Mothra herself. A lot more terrifying looking, but of course the US poster advertised her as a scary monster, because of course they would. I just love the way this looks. It has a nice glossy finish to it. It has a great shine to it, which looks amazing. And then there's the full back artwork there. Pretty cool. This must have been like the Japanese poster or something, because if you look really closely on the side there actually is some Japanese text, which maybe is like a holdover from like the poster arts, which I found kind of interesting there, kind of weird. And then inside here, it's also a red steelbook, which I like because I've mentioned this many times. I love red on a steelbook. And you have the Blu-ray disc, and then you have the inside arts. Pretty nice. I've said hundreds of times how much I love the Godzilla franchise, so to have this kind of piece of it, it's not exactly connected to it because it's its own standalone movie that eventually led into crossing over with Godzilla, but still kind of part of that. It's part of the classic Showa era, and I've been wanting to get more Godzilla stuff on Blu-ray. My Godzilla Blu-ray collection is so sad, and I'm still waiting. I'm going to get the Criterion box set at some point, but this is a good addition to that. That's also why I can't wait to get the Criterion Showa collection, because this is a good companion to that, because this is kind of part of that. Now we just need to get Rodan on Blu-ray, and then it'll be complete. And Mill Creek, which normally does like budgeted releases, a lot of cheaper stuff, really went all out with the steelbook. That's what I love about it. Like, they put 100% effort into this thing. It's an amazing looking release. Let's see, bonus features wise, it doesn't have a whole lot. It has both the Japanese and US versions, which makes me happy. I always like to have both of them. That's my one kind of issue with the Criterion set for the Showa films, that it only has the Japanese versions. I love to have the option of both. So this gives us both, and also has a trailer and an audio commentary by some of these Japanese sci-fi historians, Steve Rifle and Ed Godziewski. The name Steve Rifle sounds familiar. I think he did a couple of commentaries on the old classic media Godzilla box. Of course I'm mentioning it now right as I move it off my shelf. It's been sitting there for the past year, and I finally mention it and it's not there, but there's a really great classic media Godzilla box set on DVD, and I feel like that guy did a bunch of commentaries on there, so he does some good stuff. So that's awesome. Great release. So excited to have this for my collection. And finally, my next Blu-ray. Speaking of the Criterion Collection, this is from them, and it's a collection of short student films from one of my favorite directors of all time, Martin Scorsese. Scorsese shorts. Now this is a really cool release because, like I mentioned, it's a collection of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 5 short films from Martin Scorsese. And a lot of them are student films that he did. It's a really cool set. Yeah, it's back right there. The spine. So this is a really cool release. I was actually really excited to get this one to add to my Scorsese collection. So then you got the inside there. So you got the booklet that kind of comes with it. And I love just how they use like New York for all the imagery on here. It's like pretty great. But yeah, I'm not sure if there's really any pictures on it. There's like descriptions of each short. I actually just watched that one, Italian American, yesterday. It's a really cool one. I like that one a lot. And then like there's that one, which is American Boy. And then let's see. The Big Shave. I watched that one in film school a few years back, so it's gonna be cool to check that one out again. Yeah, it's Not Just You, Murray. That's the other one, and then What's a Nice Girl Like You Doing in a Place Like This? I think that was it. Yes, and then you got, of course, little essays and everything, kind of like what the normally you find in the Criterion sets, or some like storyboard pictures. It's kind of cool there. There's a bunch of like kind of pictures on here. It's just kind of neat. These are they're story. Wait, what? These are storyboards that were drawn by Scorsese at age 11 for a film project he did. Oh, that's cool. That's pretty sweet. I didn't notice that. So yeah, and all the shorts in here were remastered, taken from like their actual film elements and everything, so they look great. And it's just an awesome release. A great like look at the early works of Martin Scorsese. And also what's cool is the back here, the inside art has the recipe for the pasta sauce that his mom was making in the short Italian American, which is really neat. Yeah, this is a really cool set. And there's something about this I love. I love seeing the early works of people, especially like my favorite directors. I love seeing like where they started out with. And this is an example of that. These are his early student short films and everything. So it's just a really cool set. Definitely worth getting if you're a fan of Scorsese and his work. Pretty neat. I love it. So yeah, that's all the stuff I got for Christmas. Some really good Blu-rays and some really cool books, some really cool movie-related stuff that I thought you guys would get a kick out of and really enjoy seeing. It's a lot of great stuff and a good way to end a not-so-good year. So I hope all you guys had a really good holiday, and I hope you guys have a good new year, because we all deserve that. And yeah, that's all I have to say for now. So until next time, I'll talk to you guys later.